So, the Balkans, the powder keg of Europe, they do be kinda spicy though. The southeastern peninsula of Europe, called the Balkan Peninsula, has been populated by a lot of different kinds of people through a lot of different periods of time, but most famously, the Slavs, specifically the South Slavs. Before the South Slavs migrated there with the Avars from Pannonia, the peninsula used to be populated by a group of people called the Illyrians and the Thracians. Then those dudes were conquered by the Macedonians, who are Greek, and those Greek boys were conquered by the Romans. Those Greek and Roman boys fused together and became the Byzantines, and the Byzantines got messed up by the Justinian plague, which, fun fact, that is the same plague that caused the Black Death. Go get vaccinated. And the area was pillaged by the Huns. So those Slavic people, they migrated on down and said, yo, we're going to make a home here. And the Byzantines couldn't really do anything about it. And then a few centuries later, the Byzantines got absolutely dunked on by the Ottomans. The Ottomans came into the peninsula, dunked on the Slavs, and the Slavs were like, bro, stop. So this peninsula, as you can see, is an absolutely hot mess. Dumpster fire of violence and bad luck. We're going to talk about some modern events that are influenced by this history of big changes in ethnic groups moving in and out of this peninsula and influencing one another. Southeastern Europe is a really interesting place in terms of history and culture. It's where East and West Rome were divided. It's where Byzantine Eastern Orthodoxy met Roman Catholicism. It's also where Islam met Christianity. So basically, everyone always hated each other all the time. Now, the South Slavs are kind of similar ethnically speaking. Their languages are very similar, but the fact that they have different languages is a testament to how much they are fervent in their belief that they are different from one another. One notable exception to this, though, is Albania. Interestingly, Albania pretty much has its own branch on the Indo-European family tree, just kind of sticking out there, doing their own thing, sort of just chilling, which is sort of the central theme of Albanian history. Either they're chilling or they're being chilled upon by people occupying them and beating them up for no real reason. So, start of the 20th century. Be me, Austrian-Hungarian Empire. I really hate the Ottomans. What am I going to do about it? The Ottomans kicked our ass all the way up to Hungary and conquered all these lands just south of us. We got to take them back. The Ottoman Empire's power is waning. They're having a hard time keeping up with all this land they have to administrate because they are one big empire. And a lot of the people that they're ruling don't really want to be ruled by them. So Bulgaria and Bosnia are both like, hey man, we're trying to get out of here, bro. We're done bulling around with these Ottoman Turks. They're kind of rough. We want to rule ourselves. And so Austria's like, yo, you know what would be a really good idea? What if we annexed Bosnia the same time Bulgaria tries to get its independence? Well, the Ottomans are going to fight us both? Put them up, bro. Let's do it. 2-on-1. So the Austrian-Hungarian Empire takes it upon themselves to annex Bosnia and does so without really considering literally anybody else involved. Everybody hated that move, especially Serbia. That's important for later. This event was called the Bosnian Crisis, or the Annexation Crisis. Now, let's move forward to the First Balkan War. Now, this war was between the Ottoman Turks and several Balkan states, including Serbia, Montenegro, and Bulgaria. Greece decided to get on the action too, though they don't like to consider themselves a Balkan state, even though they kind of are on the peninsula. So all these countries got together and said, alright, we're going to kick the Ottomans out of Europe. Let's do it. So, starting with Serbia, they're like, we're going to retake some of the land from our south. Greece is like, we're going to retake some of our historical lands. We can't do all of it because we're not the Byzantine Empire anymore, but we're sure damn going to try. The Bulgarians are like, hey Serbia, let's make a secret agreement. And Serbia is like, sure. What is it? And Bulgaria is like, what if? Just hear me out. I take Adrianople and Constantinople, right? That's on my side of the peninsula. No, don't interrupt. Just let me finish. I kind of want to take Thessaloniki and Macedonia. Don't tell the Greeks. Don't tell the Montenegrins. Don't tell nobody. Just you and me, because that's close to you. I just want to clear this with you first. Serbia's like, sure, I guess. I mean, that don't affect me none. So Bulgaria's like, sweet, that's my land. I claim it, it's for me, and me only. Now the Bulgarians didn't really count on the fact that the Greeks would be, get the hell out to the Turks, and really kicked them out real fast out of Thessaloniki and Macedonia. Bulgaria was not super happy about that. And additionally, Bulgaria wasn't able to take Constantinople, so their only war goal they achieved was Adrianople. This is important for later. So the Ottomans were able to hold the line at Constantinople, Serbia was able to reclaim a lot of its land, Greece reclaimed a lot of its land as well, and Bulgaria got to claim a bunch of land too. Positive situation for most people involved, unless you were Turkish and or Muslim. So, this all happened from 1912 to 1913 for a few months. Bulgaria, pretty peeved off that they couldn't get the stuff they wanted. The Tsar is like, look man, I just want to make my country great again. I want a great Bulgaria, a greater Bulgaria even. Not quite greatest, we'll save that for later, but we'll work with greater Bulgaria. So they go up to their neighbors and say, "Hey, we're gonna beat the shit out of you because we didn't get what we wanted in the war. Even though we never discussed with you, Greece, that that's land that we wanted, we're gonna take it anyway, and we're gonna be mad about it." So they go to war, and they lose really badly. The Romanians weren't really happy to see their southern neighbor being so aggressive, and were like, hey you, no, you stop that, and sort of mudhole stomped them like his name was Steve Austin. The Ottomans, on the other hand, saw a really good opportunity to retake Adrianople, which was a very important city to them. So they did. And then Greece just took the bit of Thrace that Bulgaria had. Like the story of Icarus, Bulgaria flew way too close to the sun and would now have a big grudge against a lot of their neighbors because they got embarrassed really badly. You can see how this would feed into World War I, where the Ottomans and the Bulgarians were pretty pissed off about everything that happened in the Balkans. And the Serbs were still really pissed off at the Austrians for annexing Bosnia. The Serbs also really wanted access to the Dalmatian coast because it's a pretty valuable bit of land. So when World War I kicked off, the Serbs were going at it with the Austrians, and they were holding their ground until they weren't, and they had to retreat through Albania. Meanwhile, Albania was getting curb stomped by literally everybody else around them. Bulgaria was going for a sequel to the Second Balkan War. Why? Because they wanted to make Bulgaria great again. So World War I ended with the Central Powers of Germany and Austria-Hungary and the Ottoman Turks and Bulgaria all just kind of losing. So they didn't really gain anything. But the South Slavic countries decided, hey man, wouldn't it be a great idea if we formed into one country? And Serbia was like, yeah, it'd be a really, really good idea if we formed into one country. What if that one country was named Yugoslavia? You know, land of the South Slavs. And what if, better idea, hear me out, what if we ruled the country? Wait a minute. What? No, hear me out. Yugoslavia. We're all on the same team. But I'm the team captain. I don't think I like that. Too bad, we're doing it. So Yugoslavia forms as a monarchy with a Serbian king, and absolutely nobody liked that. World War II starts rolling around, and Yugoslavia is like, hey Germany, what if we didn't get involved in World War II? Germany was like, that's cool. And then there was a military coup that happened in Yugoslavia, and Germany's like, well, that's not the same administration. Let's fuck them up. They roll into Slovenia and Croatia, and then turn them into fascist puppet states. And then they roll into Yugoslavia and kind of just beat the shit out of them. And then Albania is getting their ass kicked by Italy and everybody else around them again. And Bulgaria and Romania are both on the same side this time, are like, yo, what if we just kind of, fucked around in the Balkans again? Next thing you know, the Axis powers, they lose again. But this time, something's different in Yugoslavia. There was two freedom fighting forces. One of them was communist. That's important for later. And so these Yugoslavian nationalist freedom fighters were able to break Axis rule over their country and restore Yugoslavia, but this time as a communist state. This time as a communist dictatorship under my boy Tito. See, Tito decided that he was going to be the only person people could elect president on the first election of Yugoslavia after they broke free from the Axis. They became a communist regime, like many of the other countries around them and in Eastern Europe, and became part of the Soviet bloc, until they didn't. Tito said, we're doing things my way. See, Tito broke form a little bit. He said that I'm not going to cooperate with everything Stalin says. That kind of made Stalin a little bit pissed off, and they had broken their ties. And so communist Yugoslavia said, hey man, hey America, I see you're kind of rich now, and I don't know, man. I know Russia's your enemy, and we're not really with them anymore. You know, we swear we're not with them, bro. It's not like that. Can you help a brother out? America's like, all right, man, all right. Enemy of my enemy is my friend. Good old Abe Lincoln or whatever, I don't fucking know. So the United States starts sending Yugoslavia foreign aid, a little bit at first, and then they kind of just went all the way in. But Yugoslavia is still having a real bad time. So we can flash forward now to the Yugoslav War, because now they're getting independence! Starts with Croatia, because of course, they were not happy to be there to begin with. So Croatia breaks away, and Bosnia breaks away, and Herzegovina breaks away. In Albania, they spend a lot of their time being harassed by Yugoslavians, by the Greeks, by the Italians. Bulgaria was still picking up the pieces from all their lost wars, and Romania was still coping with what happened during World War II. Bosnia and Herzegovina are like, yo, wouldn't we be a really cool pair? You kinda hot though. So they pair up. Basically, the only countries that chose to remain in Yugoslavia were Montenegro and Serbia. And the only country that was able to peacefully leave from Yugoslavia was Northern Macedonia. Even still, they had soldiers on top of a mountain, just standing there, menacingly. So during these wars of independence and separation, Yugoslavia thought the best way to get these countries to like me and to want to stay as one country is to commit hella war crimes and just fucking kill them all. They ain't Serbian, fuck them, dude. Get out of here. So needless to say, Yugoslavia didn't last very much longer, and kind of everybody started to hate Serbia. Even Montenegro, because they separated as well. The very last country to try and break away from Serbian rule was Kosovo. Kosovo is still trying to find its independence today as a semi-recognized country. I would say there's a happy ending here, but a lot of these countries are still struggling to rebuild after a very tumultuous 19th and 20th century for them. And poor little Albania, they're just kind of happy to be alive still. Somebody notices them and they built a statue. Like dead ass, there's a statue of George Bush in Albania. Look it up. So yeah, that's the Balkans. A very tumultuous place, a hell of a peninsula, really dense in history, like it's the brownie of history in Europe. You dip in there and it's fucking chocolatey, gooey goodness of drama and war crimes and it's kind of rough, not gonna lie. But yeah, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Maybe I'll make some more. I don't know. Somebody asked me to make this video a while ago, like 6 months ago, and I finally got around to doing it. Have a good day.